Hallo, ek is Eti. Welkom by my kanaal waar ons als saam doen. Today we look at the third rule for Afrikaans plural formation. It is the rule where we just add e to the back of the word to form plurals. It is a bit elaborate. There's no one specific rule, but rather there are many rules that just gets e added to the end of the word. Now, if you haven't watched my two previous videos about Afrikaans plural formation, I would advise you to do so because these videos and the rules build on each other. The first rule, where you just add e, is when a word ends in a tweeklank. Tweeklank in Afrikaans is also called diphthong. I've also made a video specifically about our vowels called tweeklanke. So if you do not know what a tweeklank is, you can go watch that video of mine. Now the tweeklanke I've given them here is I and oi and oei and u and a and the other a and o and oi. And in these cases, if the word ends in one of these, then you just add e to form the plural. Let's look at some examples. We have prei, and the plural is preie. Now that's leek and leeks. Then we have bui, buie, mood, moods, trui, truie, jersey, jerseys. Now this is specifically a knitted jersey in Afrikaans. Flooi, flooie, which is a flea, fleas. Hi, haaie. That's a shark, sharks. By, bye, that is a bee, bees. And then gebou, geboue, which is building, buildings. Koei, koeie, cow, cows. Vy, vye, fig, figs. And then the last one, ewe, ewe, century and centuries. Some exceptions that come with the words ending in diphthong and just add e rule. In my previous videos, I've mentioned that we have so many exceptions in Afrikaans, especially when it comes to the plural formation rules. You have to learn the exceptions. Now here we have at the bottom wisselforme, which is alternate forms, and they also appear in the previous videos. And this wisselforme is the word vrou, which is woman, and it has two plurals. It's either vroue or vrouwens. Learn both. They are both used. And then we have some more exceptions, which is the word leeu, lion. Its plural does not get an e. It gets an s. So it's leeu, leeu's, lion, lions. And then spreeu, which is a sparrow, that one also gets an s. Spreeu, spreeu's, sparrow, sparrows. And then we have o, which is a guy, owens, which is guys. And then I lost my place. Ooh. And I found it. Noi, nooiens. And it's an older word for a woman in Afrikaans. We don't really use it anymore, but you will find it sometimes. Maybe people of the older generation still use it. Not so much myself. Now we get to one that is a bit more elaborate. A word ending in one of the vowels given above, followed by one of the consonants I've given above. Just add e. Let's look at the examples. Spier, spiere, muscle, muscles. Vleis, vleise, meat, meats. Kous, kouse, sock, socks. Uil, uile, owl, owls. Boat, bode, which is a buttock, buttocks. Or butt, but or bums. Now, before I continue, just remember that words ending in F and G or F and G, they have their own videos because they have some changes that you make to the letters that does not happen to the other consonants in Afrikaans. Hoed, hoede, which is hats. Riet, riete, read, reads. And then reus, reuse, giant, giants. The exceptions to the rule we've just spoken about. So on the left, you'll see afleidings, which is derivations. And these are words in Afrikaans formed from other words. You don't have to worry too much about that at the moment, the semantics, but I will advise learn these words. There are more. These are not the only ones, but learn them. Right, so courier, couriers, courier, couriers. Tuinier, tuiniers, which is a gardener and gardeners. And then herbergier, herbergiers. And that is innkeeper and innkeepers. Then there's another one on the right. You'll see tyd, which is time. Now, if you want to go to times, then it becomes tye. So this one changes all on its own. It's got its own little situation going on. No particular rule. Learn that one. The dog is giving us an epic show in the background. I can just see her rolling around. I love my dog. All right, so tyd, and then the D falls away and it goes to tye. Remember that one. Words ending in the above mentioned consonant combos. So two consonants next to each other when the word ends in one of those, except for the combo r, m, and l, m, and then anything ending with an F. So if it's an r, f, or something like that, if the word ends with an F, it's not part of this situation. And if it ends in an LM or an RM, not part of this. Okay. But the sound n, which is n and ch next to each other, it is included in this rule. All right, so let's look at some examples. Plank, planke, which is a plank and planks. Serp, serpe, skaaf, skaafs. Berg, berge. So the plural, when you in Afrikaans says the singular berg, when you add an e at the back, it becomes berge and not berge. So berg, berge. Right, and that's mountain, mountains. Then balk, balke, which is a beam and beams. And then like wooden beams, not like light beams, wooden beams. That's a bulk. And then impulse, 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 impulses. Valk, valke, which is a falcon and falcons. And then aand, aande, night, nights. Kant, kante. Makes me think of a rugby situation we had a little while ago. Anyway, that aside, yes, wink, wink, and sides. Anybody from South Africa who watched the World Cup knows about kant en kante. And then vark and varke, which is fork and forks. Exceptions to words ending in two consonants are as follows. This is never all-inclusive. There are for sure exceptions that I do not mention or forget to mention, but I try and get the important ones. So afleidings again, derivations, ending in aard and aard. Luiaard, luiaards, just an S. Sluggard, sluggards. Stouterd, stouterts, naughty person and naughty people. Dronkaard, dronkaards. That's a drunkard and drunkards. And then some more exceptions, words that end in the LM and the RM combinations. Arm, arms. Arm, arms, exactly like the English. Just add S. Dwelm, dwelms. Drug, drugs. Storm, storms. Storm, storms. Again, exactly the English and probably why the plural is the way it is. Palm, palms. Palm, palms. And that is both the palm of your hand and a palm tree. So palm, palms, same. Form, forms, and that is a form or shape. Both of those, like a form that you fill in or a shape. Then it's forms and shapes. The plural is forms in Afrikaans. Okay, so we're going to look a little bit more at words ending in ng, which is the n and h together. Then it's ng. I've also made a video on that if you haven't yet watched it and you want to look at more at the pronunciation of the ng sound. That video is for you. All right, so words ending in ng, and the emphasis is on the last vowel. So the emphasis is on the last part of the word that contains a vowel, the last syllable with a vowel. Then it gets an e. Right, so drang, drange, urge, urges. Slang, slange, snake, snakes. Long, longe, lang, lungs. Tong, tonge, tongue, tongues. Ding, dinge, thing, things. Wang, wange, cheek, cheeks. Tongue, tongue. Plier or pincer, pliers or pincers. And the last one, gesang. So the emphasis is on the last part, sang or ang. And that is why it just gets an e. So gesang, gesange. And then that's him and hymns. Here we go. So words ending in ng. But the emphasis is not on the last syllable that contains a vowel and ng. The emphasis is instead on some other part of the word. Then it does not get an e, but it gets an s. So I might look at this in the next plural video as well, but learn these. All right, so horing, horings. Horn, horns, like horn, rhinoceros horn. Rather, it's there. Toering, toerings. Tower, towers. Ballooning, balloonings. Reward, rewards. Belangstelling, belangstellings. Interest, interests. Now you'll see I underline the part in these words in Afrikaans where you should emphasize it. And that is why, since the emphasis is not on the last ng part of the word, it gets an S. And then up there, there are some of these words that end on ng that gets an es. So S after the word to form a plural. Not many, but I've given one here. Lang, langes, which is the long one or tall one, and the long or tall ones. And then, lastly, words ending in a or a. So the words ending in the vowel or the long a, as we call it, they just get an e. By, we've looked at this one. Bye, which is B and B's. Fay, faya, fig and figs. Yukskai, yukskaya. This is a yolkbin and yolkbins. And then vlei, vleie. Exceptions to this rule. Words that are borrowed from English, they get the English plural. So a word like cowboy, if we do use it in Afrikaans, if you want to form a plural, it's cowboys, the English plural. And then a word like whiskey, we'll use whiskies, the exact same English spelling. There are words borrowed from other languages. If they end in a Y, then they just get an S to form the plural. And another exception, there are a selected few nouns that end in Y, and they just get an S. And that's very few of them. But this one that I'm going to give you now is one example. Hier jy becomes hier jy's. And hier jy means bounder or a crook. So that's bounders, the plural, and then all crooks. We have come to the end of Just Add E. I hope you found this video very helpful. If not very helpful, then at least somewhat helpful. This was then the third video in my plural formation series. The next one, video 4, will be Just Add S. And it is like this one. It's one thing with 5 rules or something like that. So until next time, I hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you in the next video.